When the clock struck midnight in Atlanta, most fans believed the celebration was winding down, but little did they know, Ashanti had only just begun. Rumor had already spread earlier in the evening that she had something up her sleeve, but no one expected what truly unfolded. After escorting her husband Nelly out of the main venue, she led him to a private location where she had secretly arranged a surprise after-party. Witnesses described the moment as a movie scene, with Nelly visibly stunned from the second the door opened. It wasn't flashy in a forced way. No paparazzi walls, no staged lights, just elegant candlelit decor, smooth R&B playing, and close friends and family waiting quietly to yell, "Surprise!" But what fans later pointed out online was not the decorations. It was Nelly's face. Pure shock. A man so rarely caught off guard, suddenly speechless. Social media comments poured in. He looked like he was holding tears back, and that's real love energy. Sources present say Ashanti planned every detail herself, from the playlist of their shared memories to the soft white roses lining the room. Baby Kareem, their 1-year-old son, was reportedly napping in a nearby suite with family, allowing the couple to enjoy the moment but still feel the warmth of parenthood close by. The symbolism wasn't lost on fans. One TikTok user wrote, "A wife, a mother, and a queen who still makes time to celebrate her man. Ashanti is in her era." And the reaction when Nelly walked in? Priceless. He froze, hand over his heart, then laughed in disbelief. Several guests heard him say, "You did this for me, you wild," before pulling Ashanti into the biggest hug of the night. Insider whispers suggest he had no clue. She allegedly handled the guest list quietly, coordinating with his team behind the scenes. It wasn't about publicity. It was about intimacy, appreciation, and legacy. The room was filled with a mix of longtime industry friends, dancers, tour crew, and day one supporters. Notably, fans spotted Bow Wow arriving quietly in the background, continuing what appears to be that renewed brotherhood energy following the first celebration. No drama, no ego, just brotherhood and respect. One comment online read, "When you have real friends, real love, and a real family, everything hits different." Ashanti then grabbed a mic, not to perform, but to speak. Her voice cracked as she told Nelly she was proud of him, not just for the music, not just for the career longevity, but for the man and father he has become. Guests reported that several eyes watered. The moment was gentle and raw, almost like they forgot others were watching. Nelly just held her hand, shaking his head in disbelief, whispering, "You did all this for me." What makes this moment even more powerful is the history. The years apart, the quiet reconciliation, the baby, the marriage, the rebuilt foundation. Fans noted that this wasn't the love of new infatuation. This was the love of two people who chose each other again after life's lessons. A Twitter user wrote, "Growth hits different when you get your soulmate back." Then, the music shifted. A custom-edited medley of Nelly hits, Ashanti hooks, and love songs they've shared memories with. People started singing along, dancing, swaying. Rumor has it even baby Kareem briefly woke and giggled when he heard his parents' voices blending in laughter across the room. Imagine that scene, a hip-hop love story, now a full-circle family moment. But amid the joy, fans noticed something intriguing. A moment where Ashanti quietly stepped aside to make a brief phone call. She wiped her eyes after, smiling to herself, before returning to Nelly's side. Some believe it was a sentimental call to a close family member unable to attend. Others think it might hint at something bigger happening soon, a business move or family announcement tied to this milestone. And just when it felt like the night couldn't get any sweeter, a mysterious covered display was brought to the center of the room. Nelly stared at it, confused, as guests gathered silently, cameras discreetly lifted, anticipation rising. The energy shifted. This wasn't just cake or champagne. Something was about to be revealed. And as Ashanti placed her hand gently on Nelly's chest and whispered, "You earned this," the crowd leaned in. As the cloth was pulled back, the room erupted. It wasn't jewelry, it wasn't a plaque. It was a framed timeline display of Nelly's career and life moments leading to this chapter. From his early St. Louis grind, to global stardom, to fatherhood, to marrying Ashanti, and finally baby Kareem's tiny handprint at the end. Fans who saw leaked clips online reacted instantly, calling it the most thoughtful tribute ever from a wife to her husband. One comment read, "Forget flashy gifts. This is legacy. This is love." Nelly's face shifted. Laughter melted into stunned silence. He pressed his fingers to the frame, tracing his son's handprint like he couldn't believe it. Guests said he whispered, "This everything," before pulling Ashanti in again. But then, without warning, the emotion hit him harder than expected. He stepped back, eyes shining, breathing heavy like he was taking it all in at once. Life, growth, second chances. And for a brief second, the party fell completely quiet, witnessing a man humbled by love. Fans on TikTok stitched the clip with emotional reactions. One fan said through tears, "We watched him be a superstar. Now we get to watch him be a husband and dad. This is healing culture." But of course, the internet never sleeps. And some began analyzing every detail. Why a timeline? Why now? Was this hinting at retirement? A documentary? A new phase? The theories spread like wildfire. Then came the unexpected twist. Nelly grabbed the mic. And instead of a speech about success or music, he spoke about patience, forgiveness, and building a family. "Sometimes God put things on pause for a reason," he said, and the crowd hummed in agreement. He didn't name names, didn't drag the past, but fans felt the subtext. A journey like theirs doesn't come without lessons. And the maturity in his tone, unmistakable. But suddenly, a subtle shift rippled through the room. A few team members exchanged looks again. That same unreadable energy that fans noticed earlier in the bus footage from the previous night. Not negative, but alert. Like something was brewing behind the scenes. One insider allegedly whispered, "He don't even know what's coming next," implying that perhaps Ashanti had another surprise, or that the night would take another turn. Music kicked back in, slow, intimate, soulful. Guests sipped champagne, whispered among themselves, took in the moment. Someone leaned over to a friend and joked, "This ain't a party, this a love documentary we watching live." Even celebrities in attendance looked moved. It was rumored one R&B legend in the corner wiped a tear quietly so nobody would see. Then, like she always has, Ashanti brought the mood back to joy. She grabbed Nelly's hand and pulled him toward the dance floor, laughing as she said, "Come on, birthday boy, it ain't over." The room lit up again, cameras flashed, and they swayed like no one else existed. This wasn't performance love. This was comfortable love, the kind that grows roots and builds homes. Kareem's soft baby coos from the back room only made the moment more cinematic. But as the dancing continued, something small but noticeable happened. Nelly took out his phone, glanced down, and froze for just a second. His smile softened, still joyful, but layered. Fans later speculated online. Was it a business message? Family news? A private reminder? Some believe it might have been a text from a longtime friend who couldn't be there. Others whispered that it could be connected to a rumored future move, musically or personally. Ashanti saw his reaction and gently touched his arm, grounding him back in the moment. That one gesture, simple, supportive, no words needed, sent fans into a frenzy. People tweeted, "She really is his piece." And it didn't stop there. Ashanti then raised her glass and said something only those close enough could hear. "To new chapters. Not another year, not more blessings. New chapters." And that phrasing created a storm online, because just when everyone thought the surprises were over, a stage crew rolled in a velvet-draped box, with spotlights pointing toward it. Gasps spread through the room. Even Nelly looked shocked. And this time, Ashanti didn't say a word. She just smiled, slow, mysterious, confident, like she knew the night was about to shift again, and she wanted everyone to feel the suspense. The crowd gathered, phones lifted, the lights dimmed, and the room held its breath as Ashanti motioned for the cover to come off. Silence washed over the room as the velvet fabric slid away, revealing a gleaming silver microphone encased in crystal and engraved with the words, "The Carter Family Tour, coming soon." Gasps, cheers. A few people literally covered their mouths. Fans had suspected a joint project was brewing, but this, a tour announcement hidden as a birthday gift? Nobody saw it coming. It wasn't loud, it wasn't branded, it was intimate yet massive. A symbol, a promise. Nelly stood frozen. His hand rose to his face like he needed a second to process what he was looking at. Guests reported that he whispered, "You serious?" And Ashanti just nodded with that look only a wife gives when she knows the plan has been locked in quietly, lovingly, powerfully. This wasn't just a party anymore. It was a launch, a declaration, a new era opening in real time. Fans online immediately began speculating. Some believe the mic symbolizes not only a joint tour, but possibly new music, a documentary, or even a family-focused stage moment, including glimpses of baby Kareem's life journey. Clips from the event circulated with captions like, "They not just in love, they building an empire." Comments poured in, "J-Bay energy but healed," 2000's love story upgraded, and "This is what grown love looks like." Nelly finally picked up the mic, holding it the way an artist holds destiny. His voice broke slightly as he said, "I didn't see this coming." And then he paused, eyes wet but proud. "Thank you for believing in me, in us, in this family we built." The room erupted. Someone shouted, "We ready!" The energy shifted, celebratory, electric, grounded in gratitude but buzzing with possibility. Ashanti wrapped her arms around him from behind, cheek pressed to his shoulder. It wasn't a celebrity pose. It was home. Fans later described it as that moment where life and career meet and neither has to shrink. Even those who once doubted their reunion began praising the transformation, writing things like, "Love didn't just return and it matured," but right in the warmth of that emotion, the room jolted, not in a bad way, but because a staff member hurriedly walked in and whispered to security. Some guests turned. Nelly glanced toward the door, protective instinct flashing across his expression. When you've lived a public life, even joyful nights carry moments of alertness. Fans believe it may have been a routine check or unexpected crowd forming outside the venue. The music paused for a breath. Ashanti's mother stepped forward, calming energy radiating. "They're good," she reportedly assured, touching Nelly's arm the way only family can. That reassurance grounded the moment again. Love, protection, chosen circle. And then she looked at the room and said something soft but powerful. "You can see the happiness on them. God's timing." Phones recorded, fans reposted with captions like, "Mother-in-love approved." The celebration continued. Laughter, slow dancing, deep conversations about legacy. Rumor has it that Ashanti and Nelly stole away to a quiet section of the venue for a brief private moment. Witnesses say they held hands, forehead to forehead, whispering. Not performance. Prayer like peace, partnership in motion. Fans who reshared clips described it as the calm that comes after surviving storms together. By the time baby Kareem woke fully and toddled out into his parents' arms, the room melted. Nelly scooped him up, Ashanti kissed his cheek, and guests cooed. A family moment closed the night. Just 3 hearts in a circle, lights low, future bright. Whatever whispers, speculations, or plans existed beyond the celebration, one truth was undeniable. This wasn't just a birthday. It was the beginning of the next chapter of the Carter family story. And just when everyone thought they had seen everything, Nelly lifted Kareem high and said, "He gon' see all of it." The crowd cheered. History wasn't repeating. It was evolving. And somewhere in that room, a team member muttered what fans are now echoing online. The world ain't ready for what's coming next.